The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that's doomed.
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
You've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population. This place absolutely outshines it.
It's Wednesday, the 7th day of January, 2026. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Wow. Just want to thank all of them for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves on Hot 107.5 with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman, and Teo Dill will be bringing us a news break in a bit. Hey, it's 2027. We are back. I said 2027, didn't I? Getting ahead of myself. 2026, folks. I'm joking with you. Happy to be back, man. It's a good time. I just want to sing to you real quickly. We're back. Back for another calendar year. I'm excited. Some good things ahead. Kenton Trott says, good morning, TDH family. Happy New Year, everyone. Indeed, happy 2026 to every last one of you. Yes, we are live this morning. We are live. We are back. We are back. We are here to continue the community conversations. We are back. Suzanne Ingham says, happy 2026, TDH. I've missed you so much. Welcome back, Jamal and TDH team. TDH is back in the house. Yes, we are back in his house. We are ready to go. Thank you to all of you for your patience and for rocking with us. How's everyone been? Like it's been over 2 weeks since we've been live. It's been over 2 weeks since we've been live. So hopefully everyone had a wonderful holiday. Enjoyed it. Charles H. Jeffs II says, morning all. I liked the new opening, but I thought the talking was a mistake at first. Yes. Yeah, we've got to change things up. Charles, got to, catch you, and make sure you are paying attention. So thank you for that. Thank you. I'm excited, honestly, folks. I'm excited. I said a couple years ago, we would always start after January 6th, which is the anniversary of my mother's death. So, those days can be very emotional. I just want to say thank you to everyone who reached out to send their love, their support on that day, for those of you who remember even. So thank you so much for that. To everyone, I will say, of all the times I've been out and about in the community, I think I engaged more people in Bermuda since starting the Daily Hour than any time before. So it was like really, truly a pleasure to meet so many of you in person, to engage with you, and to put a face to many of your words that some of you type, even some who listen on the radio on Hot 107.5 who may not be able to type to us. It was a pleasure engaging you as well. So I'm happy. As you can see, I have a big smile on my face. I think ready. We are ready for 2026. We've got Stacey Ann Brown says, woohoo, TDH is back. Happy New Year, Jamal and TDH team. Happy New Year to you as well, Stacey Ann Brown. Nicole Walker says, happy 2026, everyone. Love the new intro. Got some of the new TDH swag yesterday. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Got her swag. Manuela John says, happy 2026, TDH family. Yes, and a happy 2026 to you. Suzanne Ingham says, my son's 37th birthday was yesterday. Thankful he's here to see another year, and a happy birthday to your son, Suzanne. Please give him TDH birthday wishes. Pam Wade says, welcome back, TDH. Happy New Year and welcome back to you, and a happy 2026 to you as well. Folks, we're going to rock. We've got a lot coming up. This is the first live show of the year. Our first guest is going to be on Monday. It's going to be Glenn Blakeney. It's going to be an extended, in-depth conversation where we are going to cover a lot. As I say all the time, for a majority Black country, there's only one Black-owned media outlet in Bermuda, and that is Into Island Communications. You know, Malcolm X spoke to us about the media and why I'm so passionate about what we do here in this medium is because it's about controlling our own narrative. There's only one major, fully Black-owned media company in Bermuda, and that's Into Island Communications. Believe that is nothing that we should take for granted. So I look forward to the conversation with the boss himself, Glenn Blakeney, next week. We have quite a few great guests coming up next week, but today, folks, we are going to get it started. So greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we discuss your concerns, hopes, and predictions for Bermuda in 2026. The daily play is going to be music today. Yep, we've got music for you today. And also, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Let's just jump right into it. Well, before we do that, Mark Arthur C. Phillips says, the Lord is, praise the Lord. TDH is back. Happy New Year, everyone. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And Charles H. Jeffs II, he says, I met someone yesterday who asked if I was the Charles H. Jeffers II from the Daily Hour comments. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Charles. Michelle White, she says, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2026 to you, Michelle. Welcome back. Welcome back. Folks, let's get it started. So, look, this is our first community conversation of 2026. A new year always brings fresh energy, but it also brings unfinished business. We're stepping into 2026, hopefully carrying the lessons, the scars, the successes, and the questions left behind by 2025. Last year showed us a lot about ourselves. We saw moments of pride and moments of pain. We saw resilience in sports and culture, but we also faced hard realities around public safety, cost of living, accountability, and trust. And while the calendar has changed, those issues didn't disappear at midnight. So today isn't about blame, it's about perspective. It's not about guessing, it's about prediction with purpose. What do you think 2026 will bring for Bermuda? What needs to change and what needs protecting? Where do you see progress? Where do you see risk? This will remain a space for honest conversations, for your voices. And whether you're hopeful, skeptical, excited, or concerned, because the future of Bermuda isn't shaped by headlines alone. It's shaped by conversations like this, by community insight, and the willingness to speak and listen. So let's open up for the first question of the year. What are your concerns, hopes, and predictions for Bermuda in 2026? And just a yes or no while you think about that. Do you make New Year's resolutions? Do you make New Year's resolutions? Do you make New Year's resolutions? Let us know in the comments whether or not you make New Year's resolutions. I'm very interested in that because I've never really made New Year's resolutions. I just found it weird, to be very honest with you. And that's not to say people who do are weird. Let me be very clear with that. I just found it weird that we would wait to a certain day to start acting differently. And then I think, well, Jamal, you always do the Daniel fast starting January 1st. And I'm like, well, that's different because I was doing it, that became habit. I did it according to a group I was part of that was doing it, a group of people. But yeah, I've never really made them. But I say that because it seems trendy now for people to say, oh, I don't make New Year's resolutions. I don't know. But anyway, do you make New Year's resolutions? And also, what are your hopes, like your concerns, your predictions for Bermuda in 2026? Well, Michelle White says no, she doesn't make New Year's resolutions. His Delight says no. Nicole Walker says no. Mark Arthur C. Phillips says no, I don't make New Year's resolutions. Suzanne Ingham says no resolutions. When I want to do something, I just do it. Yeah, I don't believe in waiting for a specific day to start getting things done. Well, folks, let's get it started. So, you all, if you saw the recorded episodes that we put out during the holiday break, I made a prediction or two. I made two political predictions. But I also want to enter 2026 with hope. I want to enter with hope that as I ended the show, I said, where we went wrong, we can fix, and where we did well, we can build on. Last year was a scary year for our community. I mean, we had like shootings where multiple people were left injured and dead. When we look at the havoc on our roads, I mean, we're going to be talking about some of this stuff on upcoming episodes. But when I think of my concerns for Bermuda in 2026, I actually do have hope. Because I am concerned, and I'm going to say it today, and this is not to condemn the people I love. But if not now, then when will we get serious about our problem with alcohol in Bermuda? And I'm not just talking about going out to drink. That's not an alcohol problem. I'm talking about believing that we can drive and operate a vehicle after we've done so. Look, I don't drink, but I've got alcoholic stuff. I got a wine fridge. I've got wine in there. I've got rum swizzle in my fridge. If someone comes over to my place and they want a little something, boom. But when are we going to start holding ourselves and the people we love accountable so that the destruction on our roads? See, I'm concerned about it, but I'm hopeful that we as a community can look within and say, you know what? That could have been my best friend or my cousin or my brother. But I stopped them or I drove them. Someone said to me not long ago, they said, the crazy thing is something happens, a collision, a road fatality, and we go to the service, and then we have a wake. And at the wake, we're all doing, drinking and having a great time, getting high, whatever. And then after that, we're literally committing the same behavior that may have led to that loved one's death. We've got to do better. This is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. Folks, what are your thoughts? When you think about concerns and hopes and predictions, and let me be clear. The violence, the irresponsible behavior, this is not about government or legislation or policy, This is about each and every individual who's of sound mindset making better decisions out of love, not just for others, but themselves. Again, I'm not here to condemn. I want to have honest conversations. And I need you all to take these conversations and have them in other spaces, and they can continue in other spaces. Because I said to someone last week, they said to me, well, Jamal, what will wake Bermudians up? What do you think it will take? Because with all that happened in 2025, people just don't seem to care. And I said, it's not that they don't care. Everyone has so many things of their own going on. People are out there trying to feed themselves the cost of living and not knowing where to put their children when school's out, not being able to afford certain camps. It's a lot going on. Health challenges. I looked at the obituaries the other day and I see younger people passing away. So I don't think necessarily it's that people don't care. But they said, what will it take? What will it take for our community to change course? What will it take for people to start making moves that help to improve the well-being of our community and themselves? What will it take? So when I think of the concerns and hopes and predictions for Bermuda in 2026, I think all of us should do one thing, and I'm not being funny, because we love music, and we loved music when it had meaning, true meaning, where it was a movement, especially in the Black community, and hip hop and old R&B and Motown. From Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, to Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. And I think we should start there. What will it take? I love, I want to say this, man. It's one thing I've realized over the last year is how much or how important it is to surround yourself with love. And when you surround yourself with love intentionally, and I'm not talking about enablement, not people who just gas you up and make you believe what you want to believe about yourself. I'm talking about love. Because there's no love without accountability. And we all have to take a look in the mirror. Nana told one of my uncles years ago, those folks you at the bar with drinking all the time, those are not your friends. Remove the alcohol and ask yourself, what defines your relationship? Remove the weed and ask yourself, what defines the relationship? People say, how are you still friends with your boys and they drink a lot? Because we were friends before we were old enough to drink. Yeah. Let's go to the audience. What are your concerns, hopes, and predictions for Bermuda in 2026? We've got Charles H. Jeffers II. He says, I think with a census planned in 2026, we will have a reality check. I predict the census will tell us that what many of us already feel, that the number of Bermudians living in Bermuda is dwindling. Absolutely. Look, let me be clear in saying this. Since we started this show, and we're probably at the 5-year mark now, I said in 5 years, the demographics of Bermuda are going to look completely different. This is the year that David Burt, the Premier of Bermuda, says he'll be stepping down. I do agree that we will not know for many years after he's gone, the true impact of his leadership. But if I spoke today, and I say this, personal feelings aside, just as Premier, I stand by what I've said. I don't think as a person, David Burt is evil. I don't think he means bad. I think as a Premier, he has been poorly advised, and he is probably, in my lifetime, the worst Premier that we have lived through. Oh, you want some receipts? I don't remember mass shootings being so regular in my lifetime prior to David Burt's appointment. Is he to blame? Well, he surely doesn't confront it. at least publicly. And sometimes you have to confront things publicly to give the people the confidence that you care. You want more receipts? Well, the honorable leaders of the past, I don't see them all around cut match acting like the part, like just a regular person. Like there's things that come with this. You chose this position. Uber Soca Cruise looking like the esteemed Mia Amor Motley. She might go on the Uber Soca Cruise, but I can guarantee you she'll be carrying herself differently. So does some of this lay at his feet? Absolutely. Is he all to blame? No. But hey, if we can attach ourselves to the good under our tenure, then we have to also understand that the bad comes with it. I think this premier was one of the most poorly advised or the weakest in not knowing how to say no to those who are advising him. Zan Ingham says you nailed it, Jamal. Kenton Trott says it's about accountability. We must hold ourselves accountable. We also have to hold each other to account and be our brother, sister's keeper. This is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. Folks, what are your concerns, hopes, and predictions for Bermuda in 2026? Mark Arthur says, my hope is that the government of the day will use funds gained from CIT will be used to pay down the ever-raising debt. And just think, if we didn't have that debt, what it could do for bringing Bermudians back to Bermuda, improving education, healthcare. Oh, my goodness. Dr. Patricia Chapman says, wishing all TDH fans good health, peace, prosperity, and happiness for 2026. And thank you, and same to you. Chi of Key Official. Okay, Chi of Key Official says, alcohol was never used for drinking like it was used for medicinal tinctures. After a certain amount of its toxics. So there's no such thing as casual drinking. I don't drink or offer or stock it. Fair. I have a theory on alcohol. You know, to answer the question, when someone said to me, what will it take? Reparations is always going to be in the back of my mind. But I want to say this, and I hope this sticks before we go to the news break. It's honestly going to take for each and every one of us to stop living for the next occasion, the next holiday, next party, next opportunity to drink, and be in a state of relaxation or impairment. It's going to take for us to believe that we can still have fun while raising the standards and improving the lives of those who come behind us. You know, I was talking to someone and they said, do you think the problem is that many of the revolutionaries sent their children to others to be educated? I said, well, when I say things like what I'm about to say, people think it's envy. But when people, a certain group, the most intellectual, go into certain spaces, industries, and start seeing money they never thought they'll see. It's like a politician who gets the top job, right? Start seeing money they never thought they'll see. What becomes important to them is doing everything they can to hold on to that money at any cost. And that, to me, is why collectively we're pretty stuck. We're going to continue the conversation when we come back, folks. We've got to go to the news break with Teodil. This is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure. Let's hit the news break with Teodil, see what he's got for us for this first live episode in January.
Good morning. I'm Teo Dill, and welcome to your TDH News Break, brought to you by the great folks at Peoples. Wherever life takes you, Peoples is here when you need us. A familiar face, a caring hand, and a reminder that you matter. Now, depending on if and when the person or people who committed Sunday morning's terrible stabbing on Front Street get brought to justice, they might just face an entirely reformed local jury system based largely on your feedback. According to a new release from the Ministry of Justice, the public consultation on modernizing our jury system has been extended to the end of this month. Here's what it all means. Attorney General and Justice Minister Kim Wilkerson, following on from a recent appearance on TDH about this subject in particular, shared that the consultation period's been extended to ensure a wide range of perspectives will be considered, including, most especially, the views of young people. That's why the ministry's running a dedicated engagement session at Cedar Bridge later this month to help secondary school students understand why juries matter, what they do, and how they work. Now, some of the proposed changes include shrinking criminal jury size by 25%, raising the maximum age for jurors up to 75, pushing eligibility beyond the parliamentary register, judge-only trials in high-profile cases with genuine risks of jury tampering or small-town bias, or maybe even the use of AI-assisted juror vetting. Now, we're not alone in seeking jury reform. A bunch of other small countries like Bermuda have made similar changes for similar reasons, with a mixed bag of results. In the Isle of Man, lawmakers expanded jury eligibility and allowed majority verdicts, making trials easier to finish in a small population, but this could weaken defendant protections without requiring unanimous verdicts. In BVI, they've widened their jury pool and given judges new powers to remove biased jurors mid-trial, which could improve fairness, but it also gives judges way more independent juice. Now, in Cayman, courts can authorize judge-only trials in cases involving jury intimidation or extreme prejudice to protect fairness, but that cuts out the community entirely. In Turks, they've used non-jury trials for corruption cases, which definitely got more cases closed, but it also led to constitutional challenges over the right to be tried by your peers. It all comes down to a trade-off between deeply held democratic principles and practicality, efficiency, and fairness. Got no idea which things we'll prioritize, but it's going to be interesting no matter what. Now, one of President Trump's favorite billionaires is trying to convert a real estate developer into an insurance-centric version of Warren Buffett's brainchild Berkshire Hathaway by buying a Bermuda-based insurer for a whopping nine-figure price tag. Bill Ackman's Howard Hughes Holdings, best known for their sprawling master plan communities, will purchase locally domiciled specialty insurer Vantage Group Holdings for $2.1 billion in cash and stock. Ackman credited former Berkshire boss Warren Buffett for creating the blueprint to use the existing company as the core of a new business platform. It's all a bit ambitious since the deal pegs Vantage at roughly 1.5 times its estimated year-end 2025 book value. It should close if all the regulatory pieces work out sometime this summer. Now, finally, I found one clear sign of a possible path to tourism resurgence here in Bermuda in a recent travel vlog made by a young Black American couple with a 100K subscriber deep YouTube channel that picked up more than 10,000 views in just a couple of months on their Bermuda video. So the numbers are looking pretty good. The channel's called Choose to Explore, and they shout out one of our most well-known and frankly best examples of local culinary culture in a way that should make us all feel good about how our people can cook and look after visitors.
This fish sandwich is the best fish sandwich I've ever had in my life. It's a unique mix of flavors, and I highly recommend, not that I highly recommend it, you have to have a fish sandwich in Bermuda. So the one that I had is at a place called Art Mel's Spicy Dicey, and all the locals recommended that I go here, and this is definitely more of a local spot. The fish sandwich was around $15, and the staff was so nice to me. Now I know you're thinking, what makes a sandwich so different? So it has the fried fish, it has the tartar sauce, it has the coleslaw, it has cheese, it has the hot sauce. But what really makes it stand out is that sweet raisin bread. That sweetness with that savoriness. This one is a hit. 10 out of 10, maybe 12 out of 10. Man, this thing was amazing.
Of course, shout out to Art Mel's for doing what they do, which is to say make a banging fish sandwich. Now, weather-wise, today's looking good, if a bit rainy and windy here and there. The weather should be largely uncomplicated outside of solid cloud cover with a chance for some periodic sprinkles alongside southerly winds that'll remain light to moderate outside of stronger gusts that'll come during the infrequent rainfall. The most noteworthy detail about the forecast is that the air temp ceilings should climb back into the low 70s, the very low 70s, that is, but you may be able to keep your hoodie unzipped until the sun sets. And that's your TDH News Break brought to you by our friends at Peoples. I'm Teo Dill. Now back to the show.
Thanks so much for that, Tay. Big up Art Mel's. I haven't had an Art Mel's fish sandwich in probably 10 years. It's been a long time. But I want to I'm just saying, remember when I told you a certain person in Atlanta, compared raisins and bread on fish sandwich to like raisins and potato salad? I'm glad that American brother, not sure where the brother's from, understands how good a fish sandwich with raisin bread is. But I got to ask you all, we're going to start with the days of the year. We're going to create our own today. I got to ask you all, since Teo shared that with us, what kind of fish sandwich you like? Because I got to talk about it. Has anyone tried the Bermuda yet? I don't know what the restaurant on Crystal Caves is called, but I went there before I left to go to the airport. I stopped there and I got a Bermuda. So the Bermuda it's like a burrito, right? So it's the fish. You choose your choice of fish. I think I had snapper or turbot. I can't remember. You choose your choice of fish, peas and rice, coleslaw, cheese, tartar, whatever. You know me, I don't eat much stuff. I'm not eating the coleslaw with the mayo. I'm not eating the cheese, little dairy, whatever. So I changed mine. So I had fish, peas and rice, lettuce, tomato, and some hot sauce. Have you tried it? But I will say this here. People ask me, how was it? I'm not a good judge because I don't eat things how most people do. Like that fish sandwich on raisin bread with cheese and coleslaw, I don't eat that. Might call me dry, call me boring, but my fish sandwich is going to be on raisin bread with some hot sauce. Yeah. Drenched with hot sauce. That's how I do it. All right. But what's your favorite fish sandwich? Like, does everyone like raisin bread? Like, are you raisin bread folks, or am I alone in this? Because I can't imagine a fish sandwich without raisin bread. I just can't. Like fish on a bun, maybe. Fish on a bun. But my fish sandwich needs to be on raisin bread. I think it's foreign to have a fish sandwich that is not on raisin bread. That's just me. That's just me. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, but let us know in the comments how you like your fish sandwiches. All right? Take a quick break. We'll be back after this short message. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Take a look at our workbook for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places, and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Paired with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy. Folks, please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, let's just jump right back into it. I did ask you before we get back to our question of the morning, how do you like your fish sandwiches? And over on Instagram, we've got Kemi Cam says the restaurant's Cafe Ole. Yes, folks, I did forget the name. Thank you so much for that. I am Kemi Cam. Bud Gale says yes. So likes raisin bread. Gianna Jones over on Instagram, Jones.Gianna says, of course, raisin bread all the way. Tartar and hot sauce. Art Miles is still the best. I've got to get, I mean, that's my neighborhood. I've got to get back support Art Miles. Check it out. Make sure they still rocking. All right. So Michelle White over on YouTube says raisin bread, definitely. Suzanne Ingham on Facebook, raisin bread is the best ever. All right. Keep it coming, folks. Let these raisin bread haters know. We've got Nicole Walker says raisin bread, tartar, lettuce, tomato. No, haven't been to the Crystal Caves Eatery since it's been under new management, but hear great things. All right. Manuela John says, I like to make my fish sandwich a meal. So I would have everything except the cheese. Sometimes there is so much fish that I would have some fish for another sandwich. Yeah, that's how our mouths used to be. So much fish, right? Fabula says lettuce, tomato, fried onions with tartar sauce on raisin bread. Miss Alan Kate Horton, no fish for me, she says. Like, you don't eat fish at all? Man, I hope it's an allergy. I have a good friend growing up. I don't know if he eats fish now, but he didn't eat fish. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I actually felt sad for him. All right, let's jump right back into the question of the morning, folks. We were discussing what are your concerns and hopes and predictions for Bermuda in 2026? What are your hopes and concerns and predictions for Bermuda in 2026? Let's go. We've got Rashida Godwin. She said, we need to commit to being truly honest because we live in denial and we need to admit that we have unresolved trauma that needs to be addressed. Yeah, we do. But Rashida, it's so much easier to live life believing you're comfortable, because I don't even believe we're comfortable. I don't believe people who are making all this money and think they have a house and a family and the politics doesn't bother them. I don't even believe they're comfortable. But it's easier to ignore the trauma when you're one of the chosen or picked ones, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Mark Arthur says, Mr. Hartman, would you say that the legislation to keep parents accountable is a step in the right direction against gun violence? I'm not sure. Here's the thing, and you all may disagree with me. There are a lot of parents that work so hard to give their children the best life possible. And I don't mean like spoiling them with gifts and toys and stuff like that. But I mean, I've seen families work their socks off to put their children in the best institutions possible, get them into the best activities, but also spend quality time with them. Now, there are other instances where we know and we see parents are a big part of the problem. You know what your children are into. You enable it. You engage with it. You accept it. I guess it comes down to how do we decipher? How do we decide which parents are which? That's my response. Dr. Patricia Chapman says a discussion on affirmative action and reparation for Bermudians needs more attention. Absolutely. I completely agree. I told you all, if Bermudians fought more, if we were like collectively knew how to fight, which we don't, I think reparations would be top of the list for me. It amazes me, right, that since 1998, all but 5 years, we've had the government that was, or the political party in government that was supposed to take Bermuda to independence. We've had the political party in government that you would have thought would have did what you see Mia Amor Motley, the great leader of Barbados, doing. But what most people will say in private conversation, we've seen people take over that political party who have taken care of themselves and those close to them so that they can maintain what they have. If we want to have honest conversation, we could do that. Because I'm going to do it. I will do it. What are your thoughts, the audience? What are your thoughts? What are your concerns? Like, are you concerned about the violence? Are you concerned about the state of education? I just want to give props. And I don't know if I can say publicly, so I won't say publicly, but I want to give props to the TDH audience member, right, who put in a petty request for the state of public education. And we'll probably be sharing and discussing that very soon. But the state of public education, another reflection on the government, unfortunately. It's bad. It's bad. It concerns me, and it should concern all of us. It should concern all of us. I'll say this much. If you have children, I really hope that you have the time and opportunity to read to them, to educate them. Because what I'm hearing as far as results in our public education system, which was one of the best in the world for literacy, when I was growing up, I think only China, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, had a better literacy rate at one point. Man. What are your concerns, predictions, and hopes for 2026, folks? Ms. Allen Kate Horton says, you're correct, Jamel. Those in power are very comfortable. Okay. We've got Lydia Simmons says, don't think he will step down as premier. Who? David Burt? Well, yeah, that's the premier. I think he will. I think he will. I absolutely believe that David Burt will step down. I don't think, I mean, I don't see why he would stay. No, my prediction, as you all may have seen over the holidays, was that the new premier of Bermuda is going to be Zane De Silva, the Honorable Minister of, what is it, Housing, I believe, and Municipalities. I believe he will be Bermuda's next premier. But I do believe David Burt will step down. I just don't see him going past, like, I don't see him staying. I think he will. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm right, folks. I'm just saying my prediction is he will step aside as premier. Whether he stays as an MP or not, I don't know. Whether he stays on as a minister, if he's an MP, I don't know. What he has stated is that he will step down as premier this fall. And I believe him. Maybe I'm naive. This wouldn't be the first time. Dr. Maria Siemens says, all education is about home. If it's not happening primarily at home, school will not do it. Absolutely. That's that. Dr. Seaman, as an educator that you are, I believe you. That's why I said, folks, if you have children, you better do what you got to do. You better read to them. You better teach them. Because education's in a dire state from what I've been told. The data's not looking good. It's not looking good. And it's not a surprise. Education has been a political football for so long. For so long. So it should not surprise anyone. But what else, audience? Some of your concerns. What are some of your concerns and hopes and predictions? I have a hope. My hope is that the Bermuda Police Service continues to engage the public in a manner that the public receives them well, to the point that they build trust to prevent. One of my highlights of last year was on Bermuda Day. Everyone was out having fun, it seemed. And some folks were riding around on a bike in all black. And members of the community notified the police. That's what you call preventative. Those are the kind of things that, to me, the Bermuda, I know some people don't like it and are critical of the Bermuda police, but that social media thing they started last year, the way they started engaging, did help to build some trust to the point something like that was. So my hope is that we continue as a community to build trust among one another and our organizations to the point that we have a safer space to live in. That's one of my hopes. And that we can get more illegal firearms off the streets. And that we can learn to mediate and address our trauma. Because the truth is, we talk about trauma a lot, but we don't address it. We don't address it. I want to say this because every morning I get on this mic. I really do come with love. And love will look and feel differently to all of us based on our own experiences. But I come in love. I do. And I feel like because of the current leadership politically that we have, things get distorted. And we believe that race doesn't play a role in our everyday lives. And I'm here to tell you again, as I've told you before, just because the Black person in political power may not operate in a manner in which we deem good, doesn't mean racism doesn't exist. Majority of Black Bermudians have not benefited greatly. I mean, if you see Bermudians leaving to go to the UK as a benefit, then maybe they have benefited from this administration. But if we're honest, if I was in cabinet and I sat down, and if I didn't care about my salary and my job, but, cared less about that and cared more about the community and the people, I'd have honest conversations. You know, when a politician comes to the end of their term, they start to be honest about things that they wish they could have done better. David Burt, I've never heard him say sorry or I got this wrong. I've never really seen him be publicly accountable for anything. I'm not sure if he, in his final days, will say, I wish I would have done this differently or could have handled that better. But if he did, I think it'll go a long way to some. It'll mean as much as an apology. And while sorry doesn't change anything, nor those kind of words after the fact, at least we'll find or determine whether or not this individual has a conscience. And let me be clear, this isn't, old 2026, we're going to pick on David Burt. No, this is that. This isn't that. But we have to confront the issues of the day. And some of those go through the office of the premier of the country. Michael Daniels says, I'm looking forward to the census this year. This will be extremely important for Bermuda for our future direction. Indeed. Smith Sean says, yup, I've been told that these children cannot pass a basic exam to get a cashier job. Let's fix it regarding public education. Sad. Manuela John says, every generation thinks that the next generation is worse, but I wonder if we are paying attention enough to try to make it better. It seems like the family is becoming more divided, which contributes. The family is more divided. It is more divided. You know, I haven't spoken on it much today, but things I witnessed and saw in Bermuda. Yeah, we're a divided community, man. It's bad. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. We have to give ourselves a chance at better. We have to give ourselves a chance at better. You know, I said it in one of the final episodes of last year. I don't think we need any referendums on certain stuff. The referendum is the election. You who voted shows you made your decisions at that time. Limestone Living says the private schools aren't any better. That's true. But here's the thing. We don't contribute to the private schools. We contribute to the public ones. That's what our tax-paying dollars go toward. That's why the conversation of public schools is always going to be at the forefront. Dr. Maria Simmons says racism exists. However, from a child, I'm determined that I would let no one determine who I was to become. Probably got that attitude from my dad, Raymond Russell Sr. There are the grassroots carers. Where are the grassroots carers? Don't feel it among politicians today. Problem is, the current premier is so far from grassroots. They don't make them like the late Frederick Wades anymore. They don't make them like a Glenn Blakeney anymore. Dame Jennifer, Dame Lois, Arnold Francis. They don't make them like that anymore. What we have today is very different. And even the children of some of the stalwarts don't have it. They just don't have it. I didn't come from a political family. But growing up, I knew what I was and was not going to accept. But hey, I think it was Junior Birchall saying, you know, this is the result. Might have been him. I could be wrong. This is the result of sending your children to your enemy to be educated, right? Dr. Maria Simmons says there are no confrontations today. I wonder why. We have less families. We are a couple and other things. Couples and other things. Ciola Wilson, the great Ciola Wilson, journalist of our generation, says, my hope is that the government addresses, by way of more facilities, the tsunami of elder care health issues coming down the pike, most notably dementia. And in Bermuda, where our seniors are the fastest growing segment in our community. We've already had 2 elders wander off who were sadly found dead. Shaking my head, sad. We've spoken about that for a couple years now. Our aging community. Manuela John says the world is more open to us and the family/community doors are closed or closing. Folks, I don't know if you saw Teo's prediction in one of the final episodes, but he predicted a global catastrophe for 2026 that Bermuda will feel but won't be able to do anything about. And I'm going to say to you all, in these times, in times like this, Whether Venezuela-US conflict was the start and now they're discussing Greenland. We don't know what will happen. And sometimes we won't be able to control what happens around us. But what we can control is how we respond. And I'm telling you with love, how we respond, it shouldn't be in a bar. That's not going to help us. Might not be even in a church or a football club or a dance class or a soca party. But it's going to be returning to a place where we helped one another build safe spaces, economic empowerment, to ensure that our most vulnerable people are protected and covered with love. Because if nothing else, we are all we have. Going to take our final break, folks. If you haven't already, I haven't asked you yet today, but if you're streaming with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter X, or Instagram, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We'll take our final break. We'll come back with the daily play. And it's music today. And I've got a little funny story for you when I come back. Don't judge me. See, you're judging me already. Stick with us. We'll be back very soon.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda business starts here.
Looking for the best care for your pets? Novazoc Feed and Supply has everything you need, from top quality foods to toys and supplies. We've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Every space has a message, whether it's a store, a government office, or a doctor's waiting room. With Store Tunes Radio, transform your environment with customized music and professional messaging that keeps people informed, engaged, and at ease. Easy to use, built for organizations of every kind. Powered by Bermuda Communications Group. Store Tunes Radio, the soundtrack to better customer experiences. Visit storetunesradio.com to learn more. Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right. It's time for the Daily Play brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Are you ready, audience? It is music today. And this is a song that, you know, my mother's anniversary. You kind of want to play and just reflect. Here's the question, and you all should know this. Mariah Carey collaborated with which men's group to perform the song One Sweet Day, which became a #1 hit? All right, Stacey Ann Brown got it. Sheikah Rayna got it. Jewel Eve got it. Aaron Smith got it. Everyone knows One Sweet Day. Boys to Men, Mariah Carey. It set a record. I think that song, the Latino song, broke that record. I believe, but yep, Nicole Walker got it. Folks, I got a funny story to tell you real quickly. So, You know I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, right? So I have Crocs. I have these. I've had my first pair of Crocs for about 3-4 years, right? And I don't really wear them outside. I just wear them around the house. So while I was in Bermuda, I wore my Crocs outside, and so when I got back to Atlanta, I don't want to wear them around my house because I wore them outside. So I threw them in the washer. I threw my Crocs in the washer. It didn't stop there, folks. Then, after putting my Crocs in the washer, I then put them in the dryer. Folks, my Crocs melted. Yeah. Moral of the story, if you didn't know, which you all probably do, don't be like Jamel. All right. Real quickly, Suzanne Ingham says, I got shoe buy and my grandson took it to his girlfriend's house. It hasn't come back yet. I need another one. Well, we're actually working on a shoe buy 2, a summer edition. Whether it comes out or not, it's another story. But thank you so much for your support of shoe buy. We appreciate it. But we're working on some new shoe buy stuff. All right. Aaron Smith says, what the what? Yeah, I put my Crocs in the dry. Yeah, they melted. Suzanne Ingham says, they're made of folks, didn't I say don't judge me? What, Manuela Join, you laughing at me? Miss Allen Kate Horton, of all people, laughing at me. I asked you all not to judge me, but that's a true story. So don't be like me. You already knew not to be like me, but you get my point. All right, folks, I've got to give you some daily inspiration. Daily inspiration for the morning. I'm going to read something, and this came to me yesterday as I was reflecting and honoring my mother, who it was 4 years since her passing. And this is your daily inspiration for the day. And I don't know how to pronounce the name of the person. It's Toshikazu Kawagaguchi. I'm guessing Japanese, but the quote goes like this. Don't leave anything for later. Later, the coffee gets cold. Later, you lose interest. Later, the day turns into night. Later, people grow up. Later, people grow old. Later, life goes by. Later, you regret not doing something when you had the chance. Folks, that's your first daily inspiration for the year. As we head out, tomorrow, we will touch on some things. We will touch on some of the things we spoke about today. And BTA, don't worry, that 32 million, we're going to discuss that at some point too. But we've got some other things in our community that we do need to address, because what we will do in 2026 is turn our conversations into action. And if that means having more government ministers on, or opposition politicians, or whoever, to ensure that they hear your voices, to bring more engagement that's followed by action, then that's what we will and must do. But at this moment, folks, if you haven't already, please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and a big shout out to Hot 107.5 for the partnership and being able to pump through the radio airwaves with this show. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are is out. Peace.